Hi, I'm Tim Gibson. I'm going to talk to you about drywall finishing. Now, when we get ready to finish drywall, there's a couple things that we're doing. The main thing we're doing is we're taking seams and we're covering up the seams where the drywall comes together. The other thing that we'd be doing would be covering screw holes or nail holes. And when you're doing that, we don't have any in these particular boards, but you know, we got a little blemish right here. When you're filling a nail hole, it's simply filling it with a joint compound and then smoothing it off, such as that right there. Now, when we get to joints, it's a little bit more involved. We have to tape these joints. Now, there's two things that we can use, two types of tape. We can use a fiberglass tape, such as this yellow tape here, or we can use a paper tape. Now, the procedure for using these two is a little bit different. The fiberglass tape, if we're using this, it actually has a little bit of a light adhesive on it. So when we're using this, we want to put it on our drywall directly. Okay, and then we would press it down, and that little bit of adhesive holds it in place. Now, if we're using the paper tape, what we've got to do is we've actually got to apply a bed of joint compound for it. So what we would do, and we'd want to make this, in this case I'm using a 3-inch knife, and what we want to do is just press that joint compound down into the joint so it fills that joint between. And then we want to have a thin layer, so it's about 2.5 to 3 inches wide. Now, once we have that, then we want to go ahead and press our tape down in there. And then we would take a broader knife, such as this 6-inch broad knife. And now, since this is a short piece of tape, I'm going to hold the top of it with my thumb here so it doesn't go sliding off. If it's a longer piece, you usually don't have to worry about this too much. But with that tape on top, now we'll take our joint knife and we'll just apply pressure, and we will scrape off that excess so that you have a nice smooth finish. And the secret to drywall finishing is to make sure that as you bed your tape and as you put the joint compound in, that you use very thin layers with no ridges. And this will be much easier to sand and finish on the end. Now, we would come back and we would put another layer of joint compound on top of this. It's a little bit wider, and then the third layer it's a little bit wider with it feathered out just like it is right here. So I'm Tim Gibson, and that's how to finish drywall.